guys, it's Janae, and welcome back to the Licensed Yapper podcast. Hey guys, I hope you all had a beautiful week. Welcome back again, like I said, to the Licensed Yapper podcast. I'm so excited to talk to you guys this week. I have had such a stressful week. I don't think you guys understand. My anxiety has been at the ultimate height. Like, it's just been crazy, which I kind of want to break that down because I feel like I've always kind of dealt with anxiety, but I really didn't know what it was for a long time. And what's so interesting with doing these podcasts every week, it's like forcing myself to self-reflect every single week, because when I plan what I want to talk about is based off what my week is, thoughts that I've been having, situations that I found myself in, things that I find that are interesting or deep to talk about. And all of that comes from me analyzing myself, like where my brain's been, my thoughts have been, and then it kind of helps me go into the week and talk about what I want to talk about. So, me starting this podcast has been very therapeutic in such a weird way. And that's probably one thing I didn't know was going to come from this, but it has. And I really, really want to talk about this and how it's made me feel and the things that I've been going through in my brain. And it's been crazy. I've had a crazy, crazy week. So we're just going to go ahead and jump on into it and get started. Um, this week, my emotions have been absolutely everywhere. I don't even know how to explain it, which is a problem, because I, I've said this, I feel like, in multiple podcasts and like past podcasts, but I am such a stupidly emotional person. It's insane. And I don't like to show it. I don't like people to know it. I don't like people to associate emotion or being emotional with me. I don't like showing my emotions to people. I don't like crying in front of people. And I don't know if I'm trying to put up this strong front, because I do think I'm a strong person, but I don't want people to see that side of me. For some reason, I just don't like it. And I have to like really trust you, really be in a place with you where I can like cry in front of you. Like, it's insane. Like, with my friend Ashley, I've cried in front of Ashley so many times. Like, it's like not hard for me to be emotional with her. And I don't know. And most of it has to do with her just being such an open and honest person, and we just have that friendship where I feel like I can go to her about anything and she will never judge me about it. But with other people, even with other friends, I don't like that. I hate it. I hate it so much. And I have a thing where when I start getting emotional, or when I start getting in my head and start overthinking, my anxiety starts getting like, okay, pause. I can have a normal conversation with someone and just have a normal conversation, and something in that conversation can trigger something in me. I don't know what it is, or my mind will start overthinking, and I'll just get really quiet. I'll either get really, really quiet, I'll just stop talking out of nowhere, and I just need to be alone. I just need to be alone. I need my own space. I need to be in my own head. My thoughts are going crazy right now. My gears are turning. I need to be away. And I've realized about myself, I've always known that about myself. I've done that quite a few times, and I did that this week. And um my friends were like, "Are you okay? Like, are you okay?" You kind of like shut down on us there. And I was like, "No, I'm fine." Because my brain is going a mile a minute. I just need to stop. I just need to step away and stop, gather my thoughts together. And I always thought that was a good thing. Like, take yourself out of the equation a little bit, kind of de-stress and focus on one thing and kind of really get your emotions regulated. But I've realized that that has made my friends or people around me worry. They're like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on? Is she okay?" Like, and I've always been someone who I can't be quiet. Like, even if I was just quiet and nothing was wrong, I'm the kind of person where I'm such an outgoing, outspoken person that the world doesn't allow me to just not be at 100 all the time. So, and it's just because it's just not my personality. It's just not my personality to be quiet. I'm a very outspoken person. So when I am quiet, I think it kind of worries people a little bit. But it's really just me trying to gather my emotions because I know how I'm feeling inside. So, like, I don't mean to like worry people or anything, but I'm just not in a place to talk. I'm just not. And it's like either be quiet, I either shut down or I just kind of step away. And I don't know how to approach it. And I don't know how to let other people help me with it either because I think it's just something that I've been doing for so long. I have been saying for the past 2 years, I'm in the era of protecting my own peace and just trying to claim my sanity a little bit. And I feel like that's just the best scenario for something. Like to give you all some examples, like this week this week I decided not to go to a midweek service that my church was holding. I went 2 weeks in a row, and like the services are good, but I've just for some reason I'm just not like mm, connecting in a way. Like, first of all the people there are really young, okay? They're really young, they're all in college, they all are just like, what are you majoring in? Oh, school and this, that, and the other, which is fine. But I'm not in that place in my life anymore. I'm past college. So I think it's also a relatable thing that like I don't love that I can't like I don't know. I don't know. I think it's also that part of it. I think it's just also the part of it where um I like things that I think are a little bit more intimate, and it's a lot of people, which is great, and it's kind of like a midweek service, which is basically what it is, like a service, which is fine. But I think I like things a little bit more intimate, a little bit more deeper, a little bit more connecting, where especially when it comes to my faith, I like to really have those deep conversations because for me, I know I need them. I know I need them to keep me in check, to keep me down the right path. I need someone to speak so real to me. And even though like my Bible study group is a small group of people and everybody's talking, it still feels intimate in a way. Instead of in a big room of people, I don't know, it's just not, I just wasn't connecting with it. I'm trying to go through my thoughts of like, why don't I feel connected when I come? Like what's going on here? And then I was like, maybe it's the enemy trying to like string me away from the path that I'm going down. And I feel like sometimes that is happening. Like, I need to read my Bible today, I need to study today, and then I don't. And like, I'm telling myself constantly, my brain, read your Bible, but I just don't grab my Bible. And I feel like ever since I've been going to church every single Sunday and really like trying to go dive in deeper into my faith, I've been like, the enemy is really trying to attack me right now. And that's giving me anxiety. And I was like, okay, maybe the reason why I'm not connecting is because he's I'm in my head. I'm saying things to myself that aren't true. Like maybe that's what it is. But I also think maybe it's just not for me. And what's crazy is I'm already having anxiety about like my faith and like am I on the right track? Like why aren't I like I don't know. I've just been really in my brain about it. And now and I think I felt pressured in a way to go to it because my friends are going and they want to go and they want to experience that. So I was like, of course I want to go with y'all. Like let's do this together type of vibe because the girls that I've met in my faith in my journey down my faith have been very important to me. So we want to kind of like grow together, which is amazing. Having that community of people you can grow together is great. But I think what I've learned is just because it works for them doesn't mean it has to work for me. You know what I mean? Just because it's connecting to them and they're feeling something and I'm not doesn't make something wrong with me. It just means it's not for me. And I think I learned that just because it has God in it and just because it's talking about the Father and it has our faith in it, it doesn't mean it's going to connect to you. It should connect to you, but it doesn't mean you have to be like, okay, this is my place. Like same thing with churches, just because one church, someone's like, I love this church, please come visit my church, and you visit it, if you don't feel that strong connection there, that's fine. not all churches are for everybody. They should be, but not everybody. But different preachers are different. Like sometimes you just don't feel that. Sometimes it's just not enough, or sometimes it's just not what you're looking for. It's not what you need. It's not what you need to help you push you in the right direction for your faith. And I think for me, it just wasn't clicking. Like I have two wires and I'm trying to connect them together and they're just not. And I got anxious about that because I was like, I don't want my friends to like not think that like I'm not I'm not in this with them, or I don't want my friends to feel like, oh, because I'm not going, they shouldn't go. Like I just had so much anxiety over it. And I've been second guessing myself a lot when it comes to my faith. Not that I don't think it's real, but how I'm going about it, if I'm doing enough, how do I know if I'm doing the right thing? How do I've really just been in my brain about it, and it's been causing me a lot of anxiety, and I didn't know I was carrying it along through the week, but I was carrying it with me. And that put a toll on me as well. So that was like another layer of my anxiety that was making me go crazy. And then another part of it was I had a conversation with some of my friends. We were talking about situations and relationships and like things I wouldn't tolerate, why I don't think you should tolerate it. And they were giving their opinions. And everybody can have their opinion. Everybody would approach situations differently, and it's fine. And I remember we were talking about um if I remember we were talking about like cheating in a marriage. Like, would you allow that? Would you stay with that? Like, what would be the absolutely no for you? What would be the yes for you? And I was talking about this, and I was like, first of all, cheating for me is something that will never ever be okay with me. That is my limit. That is something that if you cheat, it's done for me. That's in a relationship where there's just boyfriend or girlfriend in a marriage. Put big period, it's done. To me, that's just like the ultimate disrespect, and I just can't put up with it. And we were talking about that, and everybody was giving their different opinions. And I remember there was just some things I was saying, and they were like, I don't know, I would do this or I would do that. And I remember I made one specific comment. And for me, I'm very strong in my opinions. I'm very strong in what I believe in, and what I think is wrong is wrong, what I think is right is right. And again, everybody can have their different opinions, but like I just vocalize mine differently. I'm very stern in my beliefs and what I believe and my opinions. So I feel like I was talking with like a lot of passion. And then I get in my head where I'm like, okay, so you're kind of doing a bit much, which I probably wasn't. And again, I don't have these thoughts. I'm very confident in who I am. I'm very confident in how I speak and how I talk, the things that I say. But this week, I'm telling y'all, I've just been overthinking everything I've been doing. And it's kind of the same with last week. Like, I don't know why what people are saying in their opinions, I'm thinking about what they might be thinking of me because of my opinions. I've never thought that way before in my life, ever. Absolutely ever. And, or probably when I was in high school, I did, but I've grown out of that. I have so gone past that. I've so developed that. I know who I am fully. Trust me. But for some reason, I think already because my anxiety was already at that point, I'm like, oh my gosh, am I going on too strong? Am I doing too much? Are my opinions offending anybody? Are my facial expressions doing too much? I'm all in my head for no reason. Absolutely no reason. I don't know why I am. Nothing has happened that is, I feel like, has made me feel this way, but for some reason that's just in my brain. And again, I don't know where it's coming from, but while we're having the conversation, those thoughts just are going in my brain like, oh, you're doing too much. Your opinions are a lot. What if your opinions are wrong? What if they're right? What if they think of you this way because of your opinions? What if they think you're being too strong in your. So all this is happening in my brain, and I just stop. Like a robot has like, like when a robot reboots, literally what happened to me. I just remember I was talking and I was engaged, and then all of a sudden I wasn't engaged in the conversation anymore. I was done because I was stressing myself out and overthinking for no reason, and I just completely shut down and I stopped talking. And I remember I noticed that I was like being really quiet, and I like stepped away and removed myself side off to the side to try and like calm down in a way because I don't know where that was coming from. And I don't, it wasn't like I didn't make a big commotion about it. I just remember getting up and like walking and just sitting and like just decompressing because my brain was going a mile a minute. My thoughts were coming at me so hard. I just needed a minute. And I could see that they were like, "Is she okay? Like, what's going on?" And they're like, "Slee, are you good? Like, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." Obviously, something has happened, and they've noticed something has happened. But because I was stressing myself out, it's like when it's, oh, I'm trying to find a way of how do I explain this? Like how do I don't even know how to explain what it feels like. It just feels like a lot. Like imagine you're like overheating in a way. Like you're overheating and you feel yourself getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And you get to a point where it's like, I just need to step outside and get some fresh air because it's so hot in this room. That's what it feels like, but inside. Like my thoughts becoming way too much and I'm like coming at myself in a way where it's like everything just keeps going and going and going and going and going, and it just feels like, okay, I need to remove myself from what's going on to calm myself down because it's a lot, and I haven't felt this way. The last time I felt this way, if I really think back to it, was in high school. My junior year, I talked about this. My junior year of high school, I was really going through it. Girly pop was depressed. I was not okay, and my that was the last time I felt anxiety, if I'm being for real. Um, and I remember kind of the same thing happened one time at that time where I was sitting in the classroom. I was stressing myself out. I couldn't regulate my emotions. I asked one question to some girl. She said something. It completely threw me off. I went to the restroom and had a breakdown. Like I was going through it, but at this moment I didn't have a breakdown. I just removed myself, which I think is improvement. But then the breakdown came later, so probably not. But I removed myself and I just needed to calm down. And I haven't felt this way since I was 16 years old. And that threw me because I've gone past this. What is this happening? I'm Talia. Like I have moved past this. Anxiety and Talia doesn't go together anymore. I've moved past this. I'm so far from that. Why am I feeling this way again? Why is this happening to me again? And to be honest, I haven't figured out that reason. I have not deciphered why this anxious energy is in my bubble. I don't know why, but I know it doesn't feel good and I don't like it, and it's stressing me out, to be honest, because I don't know where this is coming from. So that happened, and that was a lot for me. And I felt bad because I was like, oh, I don't want my friends to think that I'm being distant, but I just need a moment. And I don't like talking about my emotions, so I don't want to tell them what's really going on. I just just want to deal with it and move on. But they don't move on. They think they remember this stuff, and I have to remember that. But I just don't want to deal with it. I kind of just want to walk away like nothing ever happened. So that happened, and that stressed me out to the extent, right? So then that happened. I don't remember what day that was on, but then that happened. And then the big thing that kind of feel like overflowed everything and when everything came out was on Thursday. I was working out and I was kind of annoyed that day. I don't really know why. Again, I don't know why I'm feeling this way. I just am. I just don't feel like myself. So I go to work and like I'm working and everything's fine, and then I'm just anxious and annoyed that day. And a situation happened where situation happened with me and my coworker that I don't really know if I want to talk about it right now. I think I may bring it up in next episodes, but it kind of just threw me off. It was very weird. It was very odd. I oof. I want to say it, but I just don't think it's the right time. So I'm not going to say it now. I think I'm going to say it in the future, maybe. I don't know. Just not at the moment. But something happened to me and my coworker. I thought it was very weird. I thought it was very strange. It threw me off. I was like, oh. like low key you're a weirdo for this. Like this is so weird and so like what is wrong with you? Like why would you do that type of vibe? And like why do you think this is funny? And why would you think I think this is funny? It really just threw me. And I think a lot of times you expect things from people. You have expectations for people and they kind of don't and they kind of prove you wrong in a way. And it just really threw me. Okay? It really, really threw me. Maybe I'll talk about this in the next coming episode, but I just can't right now. But it threw me. And I was just like, okay, this is so weird. Like, this is so strange. Whatever. I'm just gonna keep going throughout my day. The workout starts. I'm in the workout. I'm working out. Your girl's trying to get gains over here. So I'm in the workout and I'm doing my thing. But my brain does not want to shut off. And I'm just overthinking that. I'm overthinking the midweek service that happened 2 days ago. I'm overthinking the conversation I had with my friends the other day. All of what went on that week is just going through my brain while I'm working out and what just happened. So that's all that's going through my brain. But I'm moving and, doing my thing. But inside, it's just thoughts swirling. So I remember there was this one move that we were doing that I was kind of struggling with it. And the coach came by and she like tried to help me with it a little bit, which is fine because I want to get better. I want to get stronger. Like that wasn't the problem. But for some reason, and then I was annoyed with myself because I couldn't get the move down that I just I couldn't take it. For some reason that triggered it. I don't know why that was a trigger, but I remember her correcting me and then I just was like, you know what? Screw this, I'm done kind of vibe. I remember just putting down my weights, walking out of the room, and we have like this office. And I remember opening the office door and just going in there and I just broke down. I just broke down because I think I was just holding so much stuff in and I wasn't talking about it. I was just holding it in, holding it in, holding it in. I wasn't talking about it and I kind of just lost myself. I just was crying and I hate crying. And again, I don't like people seeing me cry, so I went into a room and I just lost it and I just got so emotional and because I'm so stressed out and I don't feel like myself, my brain's going a mile a minute. I don't know what's going on. And it really, really put me, I was going through it. Your girl, I was really going through it. And I remember my boss walked in and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." And we kind of had a nice conversation about it. And um, I think, I think what's so great, something that was so great about that conversation was she let me speak openly. She let me get my thoughts out. And one thing that I really appreciated and that I needed to hear in that moment, she reminded me who I was and then told me what I meant to people. And when you hear that from someone else, it really means the world, honestly. And I don't really like thrive on people's opinions of me a lot of the times. I feel like I know who I am and like if you have a problem with it, that's fine. I think you're weird if you have a problem with me type vibe. But I was in a moment where I was at my lowest, my anxiety was at its highest. I was really like just stressed. And that moment that happened when I was 16, when I walked out of the classroom and went in the restroom and cried, happened to me 7 years later, randomly. And it sucked. The feeling sucked. But hearing someone say, "Talia, you know who you are. Talia, this is like Talia, you know who you are. Talia, you're an amazing person. This is what you mean to other people. When you walk into a room, you make people laugh, you make people happy. You bring so much great energy, Talia." Like having someone speak what they think of you to you, I'm not gonna get emotional, so give me a sec. But that really helped me. And it really helped me calm down and be like, you know what? I do know who I am. I am on the right track. Things are gonna suck sometimes, but hey, you know what? I know who I am. I know what I stand for, and I'm okay. I'm okay at the end of the day. And then hearing someone who I'm around all the time tell me what she thinks about me because that wasn't the things, because the things that I was saying to myself that whole week weren't positive, and to hearing her say that about me really was like touching, and it helped a lot. I don't know how to explain it other than that. Like, you just have to step back and realize who you are. Let those inner thoughts literally get them out of your brain. What the things that are, first of all, the things when that little voice in your head, that little voice in your head that people say is little but sounds so loud, that are speaking negative things to you, that's not you. That's not who you are. That's not what you think of yourself. That is the enemy coming to attack you. That is that is the enemy speaking the worst about you to you, and taking past insecurities that you have gotten past and bringing them back to the forefront and trying to tear you down. That's not who you really are. And stepping back and remembering who you are, what you do, what you mean to people, what you mean to yourself, it really washes away those negative thoughts. And I didn't walk out of that conversation feeling like brand new again, but hearing those positive words made that voice get quieter and quieter and quieter. She was still there, but it made me, calm down and really come to myself and say, you know what? This was a bad moment. This was something, I don't know where this came from. I don't know why it's happening to me, but I'm okay. And I have people around me who love me and care about me and just want the best for me. And when I do shut down and have those moments, they want to be there for me. I need to allow them in. I need to allow people to help me, to care for me in that way when I'm feeling emotional. Because, yeah, having friends and having a community around when you're feeling amazing is great. But when you're feeling at your lowest, that's when you need those people the most. And I realized that a lot. It's Saturday now. That was Thursday. And I feel so much better than I did on Thursday. I feel 10 times better. I still, you know, struggle with things like, which I think I'm always going to, like my faith. Am I on the right path? That's something I'm going to think about for the rest of my days on this earth. And that's great, but not to stress myself out over it is what I've learned. And the times where I'm with God and it's just me and God to talk about them, to be centered and talk about my feelings with Him, talk about what I could do better with Him, and then move on. Don't harp on it. Don't stress on it. Don't think about it every single day. Like, move forward. Take those steps, move forward. When I'm with my friends and I get in my head and I become anxious, don't step away and move to another section, to another place, or don't remove myself. Speak to them about it. Say, hey guys, sorry, don't want to dampen the mood, but I'm having a lot of anxiety right now. I really like to talk about it with you. Having those communication skills, debriefing everything, because I've realized when I'm in my head and it's just coming at me 24/7, it doesn't help me. It doesn't. So that was a big thing for me in realizing my anxiety doesn't make me, and every bad thing that I say to myself is not the truth. And it's not who I am now. At 23 years old, those thoughts that are in my head are past things that are coming up again to make me feel that way again. And I'm not going to. The way I felt when I was 16, I never want to feel that way again. And I got a glimpse of that this week, and I never want to feel that way again. I've done a lot of inner work on myself in the past couple years that no one knows about. No one really knows about the time that I've stopped and really self reflected with myself. And I'm not going to let that voice in my head deter me backwards. I'm not going to allow it to happen. And having those people in your life that remind you who you are and the energy you bring is the best. The best, the best, the best. So, what I've taken from this week is to be more open, to be more open, which is I'm gonna work on because that's a lot for me. But to be more open in the way of showing my emotions, to confide in my friends when I'm feeling in that point, because I talk to my friends about anything, but for some reason when I'm in places like that, I don't like to. But to confide in my friends, they want to know, they want to help, and to remember who I am. If I'm ever in those spaces ever again, and those spaces of anxiety, of feeling overwhelmed, to say, pause. Talia, you know who you are, babe. Okay? I don't know where these thoughts are coming from, but absolutely not. We're not allowing that. You know what I mean? To protect my peace from other people, I need to protect my peace for myself, probably. That's probably something else I need to learn and I need to do. So, this week has been a big learning experience for me, a learning curve that I'm trying to get past. But I think it's important to be open about these things and talk about these things because to people who say they're strong or confident, I say that about myself. I still deal with things like this. And it came at me hard this week. It came at me hard, came out of nowhere. Wasn't expecting this, but I think it needed to happen. So I know if this ever happens again, how to get back on the horse. You feel me? And to get back to my place of, I don't know, the Talia space that's just happy and go lucky and no bad thoughts allowed. So that's just been crazy for me. But I hated feeling that way this week, but I feel like it was needed. And I self reflected a lot. And I also don't want to make the people around me worried or like nervous or not know how to approach me when I'm in the situations. So, yeah, that was not scary is the right word, but just interesting. And I didn't love the feeling, but I think I learned how to communicate my feelings better and how to get past that. And I put, and I think also I know that I put a lot of pressure on myself when it comes to where I am in my life, my career, my dreams, my friends, my standing with my faith. Like, I put so much pressure on myself every single day. Um, and maybe that pressure is becoming too much. Maybe I need to just step back and be like, yo, pause, babe. Like, you're doing okay. And that's easier said than done because I know right after this, I'm probably going to be thinking about it again. But if I am going to think about it, to express it differently, to communicate that with my friends, talk to people about it, and not just be so closed off with those emotions. So, I'm still learning at my big old age. We learn every single day and we learn about ourselves every single day. So I don't know, this week was hard, but also a learning experience. And I hope anybody else that deals with anxiety or has dealt with anxiety and that anxiety is coming back, you hear that I'm relating to you and we all deal with it, whether we like to say it or not. We all deal with it and it's hard, but we're gonna grow from it, and we're gonna come out the other side much better, stronger, wiser, and we'll know how to attack it the next time it tries to pop up on us. You know what I mean? So yeah, y'all, that was my week. But now the time has come where we're going to be talking about something that I love and it's dear to my heart that I watch every single day, and that's reality TV. The pop culture scene has been kind of mellow for some reason. Oh, actually, I do want to talk about something in the pop culture scene. The documentary of Lamar Odom and his overdose and him almost literally dying. I want to talk about that because that I have so many opinions on. In that documentary, Khloe Kardashian, we know, was married to him for 2 years, I think it was 2.5 years, something like that. And she was with him every step of the way of him rehabilitating, getting back to normal. And to have this man on the news say that like either Khloe was lying or over exaggerating is crazy pants. And Khloe expressed on her podcast that she was upset about it, which 100% she has the right to be upset about it. If I was there wiping your butt teaching you how to walk again, teaching you how to speak again, learning the alphabet again. I'm there every single day helping you get back to where you were before. And you're going to come out on the other side and say that I'm being dramatic, over dramatic, or I'm being dramatic or lying about certain things is crazy. And one thing he said that she was lying about was that his dad tried to pull the plug on him. And he was like, yeah, I don't know if that really happened, da 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 da. Babe, you were in a coma. You don't know what happened. And why would she lie about something like that? Like, I think that was completely disrespectful. And Chloe had every reason to be upset about that. And when I was watching the documentary, I was like, oh, he is so lucky to have her. He is so lucky to ever have had her. She, you were cheating on her, first of all, and she still stayed by your side and took care of you through all of this and was going to stay by your side, but then you decided once you got out of the hospital to get more drugs. So she was like, you know what, peace out, I'm done with this. And now you're gonna come on years later and say that she's lying about that? You're crazy. That's insane. That would have blown me out of the water. Oh my gosh, I saw those headlines and I couldn't believe it. Like that through me, and it just shows that people that you care about so much and you feel like you would defend to the end, they will not have your back, and that's crazy. Choose the people you surround yourself wisely. Choose the people you marry wisely, because that was crazy. That made me mad for her. I couldn't believe it. That was insane. Anyways, Summer House. Starting with Summer House, so much has happened. So much has happened. First, before we get to the episode, Sierra's glamour cover, beautiful, gorgeous. She's absolutely amazing, and they asked her a lot of questions in that cover, and they were asking her like, "How do you feel about the situation? How have you felt?" Like, and I just want to say, like, when you are a friend like Sierra, and you get disrespected like that, it's always going to hurt. And in the interview, she sounded very strong, which is great. I love that for her. But I think at the reunion, she really said like a lot of things she wants to talk about at the reunion. And I think it's because that is going to be her space to really talk, see those people face to face for the first time and get it off of her chest. And I can't wait for that. And what's crazy is after the episode that we just had, and now to see that yesterday, Amanda and West were out gallivanting around the city at a baseball game, kissing in the stands. Oh, y'all are playing dirty. And it grossed me out. I remember I saw the video and I literally went, ew, like it's so gross. They look disgusting. And I hate saying that about people, but these are people who betrayed someone, so I really don't care. And like to me, I think that they're out and about publicizing this relationship because, and I put that in quotations if you're listening, quotations, quote unquote relationship, to show people that they're together so they can seem united going into the reunion. We're not stupid. Do you think we're dumb? Trust me, Bravo fans are not stupid. We are very smart, and I know what y'all are doing. Y'all are trying to save face. So at the reunion, y'all can say, look, we are together. Look, we are pursuing a relationship. So it was worth it. I don't believe it. I literally don't believe it. And I think it's disgusting of y'all to be gallivanting this around this city. Like, everybody has a life and they can do what they want. It's just the respect that's not there. That's crazy. The disrespect is insane, especially after this past episode that we're going to talk about. This episode was Amanda's downfall, bro. Amanda looked so bad in this episode. First of all, seeing Mia and Sierra comfort her, hug her, seeing Sierra cry and be like, "You deserve so much. Thank you. You're this. You deserve so much. He doesn't treat you right," and she's crying for you. She's crying for you, hugging you, and they're all like, "We're in this together. I love you guys." And then you go and hook up, and you're continuing to hook up with her ex. It is insane. And I first off want to say, all the people in the comments, all the people on social media that are like, it happened 2 years ago, they broke up 2 years ago, this, that, and the other. First of all, we don't know what their relationship was like. We only know what they show us, right? Sierra went and stayed with his family for who knows how long. met his mom, met his dad, got to know them, went to his brother's wedding, was in he they were together. We don't know the conversations they've had together. We don't know what he's promised her and what she's promised him, but what we do know is that they had a conversation at Sierra's birthday party, and they had a boundary that they said they will not cross, which is to not hook up with Bravo people. And guess what he did? Not only did he hook up with someone from Bravo, he hooked up with one of her best friends. I don't care what any of you guys say, that's cruel. It's cruel and it's a betrayal that will never stop. And I will never stop talking about this because I can't fathom someone doing that to me. And she even talked about in the Glamour interview, like, West is West. West is a man we don't, at the end of the day, I have expectations for him, but if he doesn't meet those expectations, I'm not that surprised. And people are saying this whole boys will be boys thing needs to stop. It's the truth. It's the truth. And we're not giving him an excuse because boys will be boys. That makes me upset too. Boys, like, that's whack. That's so whack. But she's basically saying, at the end of the day, West has done me dirty before. So him doing me dirty again for the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh time is not a surprise. It hurts, but I'm not surprised that he did it because he's done it so many times. With Amanda, someone that I confided in, someone who I thought was my friend, someone who I cried about this man with, someone that I really was going through the depths, and she saw the emotions that he did to me. He saw the emotions that he brought out of me. I can't believe she would do this to me. That is what she is saying. She's not giving West an excuse. She's saying, I'm used to him hurting me, so him doing it again is not a surprise. Having someone who I thought was in my corner betray me this way, I never would have thought in a million years it would have happened. That is what she's saying. I'm so sick of you guys trying to twist this. It isn't more on Amanda. It is. It is. We know West. And I trust me, I was the biggest West and Sierra fan. I was shipping them so hard. But him hurting her again is not surprising to me. I knew he was going to do it again. Or, I mean, I hoped that he wouldn't, but I'm not surprised that he did it. You feel me? It's the fact that this girl looked at you in your face when you're crying, and who knows how many times we only saw on camera, but who knows how many times behind closed doors that she confided in Amanda, and Amanda still did this to her, and now Amanda's gallivanting around the city, kissing this man on jumbotrons and stuff. Like, this is insane. This is insane, and it's dirty. It's so whack. Like, and I'm not saying move out of the city, but move out of the city. Like, y'all are whack for this. And it's so gross. It puts me off of both of them. I don't want neither of them on my screen. If Sierra decides to come back on Summer House, which I really, really think she won't be coming back, if she decides to come back, they need to leave. I'm sorry. You can't have a show, and Amanda even said this in the previous episode, which I think is crazy. You can't have a show where everybody's at each other, where people aren't friends. This is a show about friendship. You can't have a show about friendship if nobody are friends. You can't do it. Look at what happened to Vanderpump. It fell apart because nobody was friends. How can they continue with the show? Amanda and Sierra Amanda and Wes completely ruined this. How can there be a show after this? There can't be. It's done. There can be a show after this with them not in it. They need to go. I'm sorry. Like, they are not helping this show whatsoever. They're going to tear it apart. And honestly, I hate you guys for doing this because this was my Summer House is a show where it's like it's fun and it's about summer and it's about friendships and there's drama, but there's not like crazy insane drama. This is my comfort show and you ruined it. You ruined it. You crapped all over it and now I'm not comforted anymore. If anything, I'm stressed. Okay? My anxiety is high because of this freaking show. I hate you guys, both of it. I hate both of you for doing this to my show. Like, oh, you guys suck. But like I just want to ask Amanda, like, how do you feel watching these episodes back and Sierra being there for you and you disrespecting her? How do you feel? How does that make you feel when you watch this back? Are you watching it back? Do you feel stupid? Do you feel wrong? Like, what do you feel like when you watch this back and seeing this girl argue with your husband for you and you did this to her? I just want to know. I just want to know how she feels about that. Because I would feel sick. I would feel sick. And even if I liked West, I couldn't be with him because that would make me feel so disgusted with myself. And guess what? She don't look disgusted with herself in that dog at that. She don't look disgusted with herself at the Yankees game. Mm-mm. She looks a-okay. She's enjoying herself, grabbing all over him. Evil people. There's evil people in this world, y'all. There's evil people in this world. And Sierra said a quote that was like, one of her friends told her that in your 30s, when you hit 30, you're going to lose most of your friends. People that you thought were your friends aren't going to be your friends anymore. And she thought her friend was being dramatic. And look what happened. I'm telling y'all, you better hope you have a circle around you that is strong and that really cares about you, because this is horrible. And West, one of the most disrespectful men I've ever seen on Bravo, he, how do you, where is the respect for Sierra? You're sitting right next to her and you have a girl on your lap. You have some girl on your lap sitting right next to her, making out with her, right next to Sierra. You think that's okay? You think that's okay? He's like, yeah, I used to date that girl, but whatever. Excuse me? And this reminds me of back in the day on Winter House when Sierra and Austin weren't together anymore. And Austin was like, I'm going to bring my ex here. And Sierra was like, why would you bring your ex here? Like, why would you bring your ex here with me here and you just disrespected me a couple months ago and now you want to bring your ex and flaunt that around me? The disrespect is insane for her. Nobody has respect for Sierra. None of these men on Bravo have respect for Sierra except KJ and Carl, it seems like. Everybody else disrespects her to her face, which is crazy. Doing it behind my back is insane, but doing it straight up to my face and you don't care, that's crazy pants. Ballsy, but crazy. That's insane. These men don't have any respect for her. And for him to do that and to have Jesse, your best friend, be like, Wes, what are you doing? Why would you think that's a good idea? You are digging yourself in this hole. You wanted to get out of her bad graces for 2 years. You were slowly trying to get out of it, slowly about to get out of it, and you do this? Like, I just can't explain. I didn't know people were. I knew people were disrespectful, but this is on a whole nother playing field, bro. He is a monster. He sucks. And like that was the episode, just talking about and just showing how West doesn't care. He doesn't care about her, guys. He doesn't care about her emotions. He doesn't care if he disrespects her. He really doesn't care. West just cares about the public perception. West cares about getting on the good side of the public. And him, he had a plan. He knew to get back in good graces with the public, I have to be friends with Sierra. I have to clean this up. Because if I don't clean this up, I'm going to have some hate. And I don't want hate. I don't want to be hated. I want to be loved. So he thought he was going to come into the season, try to be friends with her, get back on the good graces, flirt with her, touch her, do this and that and the other, make her feel like he wants her, when all along he doesn't want her. He doesn't want her. And he never wanted her. He likes to look at her. He likes to kiss her. He likes to be with her, but he doesn't want to be with her. Does that make sense? He thinks she's attractive but doesn't care about who she is or her feelings, which is insane to me. That's crazy. I can't believe the disrespect. It's just crazy to me. And I don't know how he's okay with himself with doing this. I don't know how she's okay with herself, and I don't know how he's okay with herself. It's blowing me. My comfort show is ruined. I hate that for me. Ugh. Moving on. I can't even talk about it anymore. It gets me so upset. But I started Beyond the Love Island Beyond the Villa. I wasn't gonna watch it, if I'm being honest with you, because the people that I loved on the show aren't really on it. So I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna watch this. I don't know what the point is to watch this. But I'm intrigued and it's grabbed my attention. And I have a couple things to say. Hannah, babe. Ooh, Hannah was getting ripped on the internet, y'all. And to be honest, some of it was a little deserved. The way she was coming at Pepe was crazy. It was a bit much, actually. I love women standing up for themselves and telling men how they treat them is wrong, but that was a lot. That was a lot. The way you came at him was not it, babe. It probably felt like in the moment you were doing something, it came off very like, girl, you're doing a bit much, actually. And Pepe, and no one, like, also, they're just gonna get on Twitter or in the comments talking about, if you knew the things that he did to my friend, you would stand up for your friend too. He was, or Iris was terrified of him. You can't say that and not tell us what he did. Like, not saying the public deserve this information, but you can't say things like that. Say that Girly Pop was terrified of him and not share with us what he did. You can't do that. So you might as well tell us because right now it's not looking good for you. It looked really bad, and he's looking like this poor innocent boy who y'all are coming at for no reason. That's what I was looking at. And like that was a lot. And then the whole Maya and Brian of it all. Brian seems like he's very remorseful, but I can't tell if Brian's remorseful because he actually feels like he hurt and disrespected Amaya, or if he feels like he wants to get in good graces with everybody. I can't really tell yet, but he's coming off more genuine than Pepe, so I'm okay with him. The whole Clark and Coco situation was laughable. Laughable. Love bombing was crazy. How do you love bomb a friend? Like that was insane. I was on Clark's side with that one. Like Coco, you're doing a lot. But overall, I've liked it and I've enjoyed it. I feel like there's still more to come. Like there wasn't that much to talk about, but I'm excited for that actually. So I'm gonna tune in. I've missed Love Island so much. I can't wait till it comes back on. So to get my urges out of the way, I'm gonna watch Love Island Milan the Villa. My friend said she wasn't gonna watch it either. Girly Pop's watching it now. She texted me right now about it. So I think I'm gonna tune in more and we're gonna dive into that as well. Cause Summer House, I think the next episode of Summer House is gonna be the season finale and then it's the reunion. So we see how that goes and we see what else is gonna come out about reality TV. Y'all, it changes every day, so who knows? But yeah, guys, that is all for today. I hope you really, really enjoyed this episode. I hope you learned more about me than you probably didn't know before. I hope you enjoyed the reality TV segments. And next episode is going to be my 10th episode. Woo! 10 episodes of doing this podcast. I'm so excited for it. So please, please, please make sure to tune in and tune in next week as well. So please make sure to tune in for that. I'm so excited. And thank you everybody for listening. I love you guys so much. Pieces and blessings. Bye, guys.